The year was 2001, and it was the day of my sentencing. I was exhausted, and I wanted this day to be over. All rise, the judge spoke.
All rise.
The verdict came back quickly, and I knew it was not looking good for me. As the judge entered the room, he had a look that I could not describe on his face. Nicole Davis, on count one conspiracy and
conspiracy. I'm sentencing you to the minimum 10 years. Count 2, the intent to distribute 100 grams of cocaine and 100 grams of heroin. I'm sentencing you to 262 months.
So since she wasn't caught with drugs, I was confused, right? So I was angry because how could you charge somebody with a drug thing when it wasn't none? I didn't understand, and I looked into wanting to learn how was this possible? Like, how could you arrest someone that had none of the items that you said that they had at the trial or at the court cases or even when the first arrest happened? I never thought that it would come to a time that she will get caught. Now that I know more about the mandatory minimum and the conspiracy under the federal guidelines, the effects of that is horrendous. It takes families away. It separates them to be so far away. And I find that it's unjust and it's unfair.
No one explained to me or my sister what was happening to my mother at that time. We didn't get told things until her sentence date. By me being the oldest, I think I understood later down in line more. So emotionally, it affected me physically, her being there, her present. Even now, me being 33 years old, I still get emotional about it. A lot of times that I don't like to talk to people about it. Sometimes I'm high-spirited about speaking about it, like, okay, we can talk about it now. But it balances out. It goes, some days it be good, some days it be bad, some days it be emotional. Some days I just shut down and I don't want to talk about it to nobody.
As I walked into the tavern, I searched for the Mexican man who my grandma described to me. He didn't say anything to me, and I didn't say anything to him. He gave me a brown paper bag, and I exited the tavern. That moment changed everything. I didn't realize it then, but it was the start of who I'd become. 15 years later, knee-deep in the game, married with 2 kids, living the American dream. House, cars, jewelry. Life was good. It was November 1999, a week before Thanksgiving, when the sound of my beeper went off. I had no clue that my husband had done the one thing we both agreed on, and that was to never answer each other's phones or beeper.
Hello? Why would you give him this number? Me and my sister, she'll be like, this is gonna be my last time, I ain't doing it no more, you know. And then opportunity to come and she'll do it again. But, you know, that was the lifestyle. I didn't really dig a lot into the lifestyle because it just wasn't my sister's lifestyle. It was my family's lifestyle. Not too many questions raised about it. But again, I thought the lifestyle was regular.
When the guy started calling, she told me about it. And I was like, that's strange. You hadn't talked to him all of a sudden. Now he's calling you. Coco lifestyle had changed 6 months before this arrest. We had that conversation. She told me, she said, I'm tired. She wasn't doing the things that was normal to her.
It teaches me a lot from her. I learned a lot from my mother. My mother is my role model. She's a great person, and I just felt like she was cheated out of time and time with her kids and family. I understand why she did things. She was trying to move forward with life and make sure that we had a roof over our head, clothes on our back, and food on the table.
When you live a certain way and something comes to you as the greatest deal in the world, some think about it, some don't. Okay, I'm gonna do this. And that's what happened.
Against my better judgment, I went through with the deal, the one I had discussed on the phone with the informant. Oh my God, I'm a nervous wreck as I call Tammy.
Hey, Coco. I've been thinking, don't do this and leave this alone.
I pulled into the Rock and Roll McDonald's. My heart was beating fast. Then I heard Tammy in my head.
Girl, leave this alone.
Leading up to that day, it was a lot going on. I heard of someone I knew, wife had got pulled over and they had taken her in for counterfeit money that was circling around our neighborhood. And because I knew Coco dealt with a lot of money, I was telling her, be careful. And she said, that don't have nothing to do with me. There was something that just wasn't right.
She was missing for a while. We didn't know where she was. We didn't think about her being arrested. We like kidnapping somebody, you know, something like that, because that's the lifestyle. So it comes with that. And she was a female and she went by herself. When she finally called and told us, we like, whoa. But then when we talked to her and she was like, but I didn't have nothing. And she told us the situation, we like, what you locked up for?
With her being arrested with no drugs, none, not even a bag of drugs, I was mad. I was mad because how could this happen? When the charge came and she was found guilty, the charge was conspiracy and attempt to distribute. Conspiracy is to know of an illegal act that someone is planning or doing and you don't report it. I don't think there is a human being on earth that cannot be charged with conspiracy if that's the way that they're doing this. Today, conspiracy and mandatory minimum is still wrong.
I just wanted to just sit here with you guys and just talk about how serious a conspiracy charge can be. It landed me 262 months in federal prison. When I talk about conspiracy, I mean, do you know what conspiracy is?
No.
Just say that Christine asked you to take a ride and she would give you $1,000. Are you going to turn that $1,000 down?
No.
Are you going to ask her where she get that $1,000 from?
No.
Did you know that she was doing some type of illegal activity? That's how conspiracy actually started. Simple as that. That's how easy it is. You actually did not know what type of activity that she was involved in, but you agreed with her to go make this run with her because she offered you $1,000, and you took the $1,000 because you probably needed the $1,000, and you never once questioned where she got that $1,000 from. But you really, really need to question, who are you and what do you do? Because if you don't, it can land you in prison for the rest of your life. And it's so important for us as justice impacted women to fight for that law to change. And we're working really hard to change the mandatory minimum to get rid of the conspiracy law because it's tearing families apart. My family was destroyed by that.
February 11, 2014, I walked out the doors of Wasika FCI with tears of joy in my eyes. My kids, now grown, had driven over 5 hours to pick me up. This was a day I would never forget. I broke down in tears as I held tight a 7-pound, 9-ounce baby girl. My grandbaby, who looks just like my firstborn. The past, the pain, the years lost, they all collapsed into this moment. I am free, finally. Time moved fast. Life wasn't waiting, and neither was I. I was behind the wheel, driving Uber, chasing every dollar, every ride, just trying to stay afloat. I was grinding, doing what I had to do. No shortcuts, no handouts, just me, the road, and a hunger for something more.
When she first came home and rebuilding, the first thing I wanted was to rebuild a relationship with her kids and letting her know that you have to take this slow. You can't just jump in and start, being this way. You have to have conversations and communication with them and let them know the years that you missed. You can't bring them back, but you can start building from there.
It was things that happened that I forgave a lot of people, but I just didn't forget. So I've talked to her about it, and she understood, and she apologized for it. And it became very emotional. I think by me being the oldest child, it affected me a lot.
It was sad, but it was joyful because you can't make up time, but she was accepted. I would always tell her, people not gonna accept you because you've changed and you're a different person. So in order to show them that you're not that same person, you're gonna have to stand strong. After her incarceration and coming back into the real world, Coco had to get a job.
So from my eyes, seeing her coming from a wealthy lifestyle and what she went through from prison, I seen her start from even driving Uber every day, all night, to becoming a business owner, to now becoming the CEO of the Talk to Me Foundation, from her breaking ground with opening up the Sister a Support House.
Being one of her biggest fans, I am so proud of her because she stuck to her plan. She made a business plan when she got out. She said, I'm gonna make sure that kids get a chance to see their parents when they're away from them. And that's where the Talk to Me Foundation came from.
The papers felt heavy in my hand, not just because of the ink on them, but because of what they represented. This was my moment, my purpose. It was time to turn my vision into reality. I had come so far, and now I was stepping into something bigger than myself.
My mother is my role model. I learned a lot from my mother.
Being one of her biggest fans, I am so proud of her because she stuck to her plan.
My sister can do anything, and she's managing to do these things. It shows that anything is possible.
What does conspiracy mean? When two or more what? Yes. Conspiracy is horrible, right? If those who are studying law and want to go to school for policy change, that is something that we're going to need you guys to look into and do, because you guys are our future.
From incarceration to impact, from struggle to success. This is not just my story. This is not just a moment, it's a movement.